You call it.
It's a ball.
Or is it?
It may have nicked the strike zone, but when I believe it's Lance Barrett back there making the calls, we've seen several pitches below the zone. Wow, he did throw him out.
Threw out
A.J. Hinch, but A.J. Hinch
gone,
was doing a great job of protecting Valbuena. He came out to argue that Lance Barrett was kind of eyeballing Valbuena, waiting for him to make a mistake.
Now Hector Santiago, as he comes off the mound, is walking over to the home plate umpire, Chris Conroy, and Mike Scioscia hustled down from the pitcher's mound when he was waiting for Salas to come in from the bullpen, just to kind of get in between Santiago and the home plate umpire. Hector obviously a little upset with some of the calls of balls and strikes.
He went around, but the ball gets away from Contreras. The throw is high, and Lindor is safe at first base. It does go down as a strikeout. Technically his fourth of the day. However, he is currently arguing with home plate umpire Eric Bacchus, who is claiming that he was out of the baseline on his way to first, and Lindor, incensed. Carlos Mendoza comes out.
With where he catches the ball and the first base, and that's going to be the point. See where he's running inside?
Yes.
So that's going to make the throw, even though it was a bad throw. That's what they teach you. They used to teach you to throw it right at the runner's back. So actually the umpire, I think, now that we see it, made the right call.
Eric Bacchus is a young umpire. It's only his third full season in service. And younger umpires, when you're coming up, you're typically going to go by the book because that's what has gotten you to this point.
Guy that relied on his control as Castro is hit by a pitch, and Roberto Hernandez has just been thrown out of this ball game. Starlin Castro at a 2-run home run his last time up, and Roberto Hernandez without warning, and the umpires do have the right to do this without warning, throws Hernandez out of this ball game. If he Cadillacs it at all, or if he poses, and Sandberg's now been ejected from this game. But without warning, he throws him out of the ball game. Normally you'll see a warning on both sides.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
I think that's jumping the gun, honestly. I mean, I know they have right in. Ruiz is set up outside. Roberto can't believe it. Oh. And then Ryan Sandberg, he's thrown himself out.
1-1 to Kawasaki. He fouls it off. Been running, they had scored 4 runs, and Gibbons is arguing now that the ball wasn't bunted. Breaking ball. Did it hit him? Well, he didn't hit it with his bat, but you can see Alan Porter. Why didn't you get some help on that? But it was a breaking ball. Now he's throwing Gibbons out of the ball game. He's saying now you can't ask for help in a situation like that, and Porter appeared to suggest no.
Now the 3-2. He got it. Strike 3. And Maven going to beef a little bit now with Gabe Morales. Gavin Maven has been thrown out of the game. Here comes Brad Ausmus. Well, that's the last thing the Tigers need here.
Yeah, they're already short.
Maven was unimpressed with that last call. You could tell. Strike.
Too close to take with 2 strikes.
About, I think, a pitch earlier. That's what I was looking for, and that's why he was waiting for a while.
Eric Cooper. I didn't see if he ejected Callaway. I'm assuming he did. And that's why Terry Frank.
They were on the mound. So he's got his, he's fighting for his pitcher on pitches. And then he tosses them, and then Mickey's going to go back and have his say.
Strawberry can't believe it, and neither can I. Darrell's 6'6", and his knees are a long way off the ground. Tata doesn't like him arguing, and he's out of the game.
How about Tata? He just followed Strawberry. You talk about baiting a ball player. He walked right with him. Strawberry was going back to the bench.
And I'm sure that's part of what Davey's complaining about, and he's out of the game too. And he's really going to get his 2 cents in now.
Tata followed him right with him to argue with him.
Davey's really letting him have it now. 1 out. Carter still at first base. And now Terry Tata waiting for Davey to leave, as he has been ejected from the game.
And Coop's going to come out. Needless to say, Kerwin's had a tough night tonight.
He threw Robin out of the game for.
Got him.
Now you've got to expand. When you're down to your last couple outs, you cannot let that happen. And that is a rough at bat.
Just got kicked out of the game.
We haven't seen it called all day. I mean, he's had a low strike zone. We haven't seen any belt highs. Bochy. Yep. This is going to accelerate right now.
4 victories, just 10 all of last year. But the 3.4 runs, it'll be over 5.
There's some John going on now.
And Buddy just got tossed out by Mike Everett. This has been ongoing on Kadire. Good Friday night crowd here in Cleveland. Strike 3. And now Kadire's hot at Johnson Payne. And you can see how frustrated Michael is. Walt's going to get in there and keep Kadire in the game. And now Stu Cole trying to help him out. And for me, this is carryover from Wednesday, and he just threw him out. He threw Walt out. Kadire's going to right field.
The reaction. Pete Walker says something to Carapazza. And Carapazza said, "What you got to say?" And of
Balls
course,
and strikes, huh?
So full count now. And the pitch. And a cutter, strike 3 called. And now Encarnacion is fuming. And he got tossed out of the game. And now he inadvertently bumped Carapazza as well. A pitch that certainly appeared to be outside. Again, a bit of a late call. And now John Gibbons gets tossed out.
Appears to be a breaking ball off the plate. And Carapazza calls him out. Edwin doesn't react strongly very often, but he's tossed in the first.
So not the way the Blue Jays wanted to get this holiday started. Score.
I don't think David's not really arguing because maybe he wants to get a chance to swing here on 3-1 if they challenge him. You know, Lackey's up next, got a base open. He's been pitching cautious.
And Joel Madden, and Joel's out. That's for arguing balls and strikes.
Time to get your money's worth. This game has started. Cubs down 4 already. Crowd taken out of the game. With instant replay, we don't get to see this very often.
Yeah, this crowd was unusually quiet here early on for obvious reasons. The Cubs down big.
Joe just said, I just asked him where the pitch was. I just want to know where the pitch was. And Meals obviously wouldn't answer him.
Second ejection this year for Joe, June 5th against Arizona.
31 hitter.
What, 20 All-Star teams, I believe?
He was only not an All-Star when he was 20, 21, and then 1945 when he didn't play because of military service. Every other year of his career. Ooh,
wow.
Somebody got tossed. I think Joe's had it. He didn't like the Soler call, and there have been some other calls I think he's been aggravated about. So he and DJ Rayburn going at it.
Well, Chris Bryant was rung up his first time up on a borderline pitch. We had it, right on the corner at the bottom of the knees. And Soler was rung up on that one that we showed again. It was clearly off the plate outside.
You could read his lips. He said that was a foot outside. There was another 4-letter word in there that I will not repeat. Kind of looked at her funny, didn't really react. By the end of the meal, she had realized or been told it was Bruce Bochy.
Oh, really?
Oops. Coughlin might get tossed here. He's had enough. He has had it with Ben May. There he goes.
Ben May and Ben did. Coughlin is done. Coughlin run up on a ball. This one on the plate. Coughlin thought it was down. But when he reviews the video, he'll realize that
Joe West is upset because I think he was telling Joe was telling a couple of his infielders to go out and talk to Kyle, and I think Joe West was saying, no, you can't do that. Wow. So he throws him out, and he's going to let him make the change? How about that?
Yeah. He said, that's fine, Joseph. I'm going to go get my guy, Joseph. That's
side of the diamond if he can shoot one through there. The 2-2 coming. And in there for strike 3. He strikes out for the third time today. He thought it was up and out of the strike zone.
That ball was up. That was more of a hanging breaking ball. Was not the pitch that Skaggs was trying to throw.
And now John Farrell coming out, make sure Dustin Pedroia stays in the contest. As he separates. Oh, now John Farrell has been tossed out. And Dustin Pedroia is going to walk away. So Gabe Morales has heard enough, and he has thrown out the Red Sox manager.
He heard enough quickly, didn't he?
Yeah, that didn't take long.
John Farrell maybe looking for a way to fire up his team a little bit in a scoreless game halfway through a rough
19.
Oh my God.
And after about 2 hours of questions every night, he said, "Kid, you're 19, I'm 38. I got to get some rest."
And hit by a pitch is Sandoval, and they've thrown Ubaldo out. Jimenez has been thrown out of the ball game by the home plate umpire Jordan Baker, and he didn't say a word to anybody. And Buck Showalter going, why? What? There's no history here. There's nothing else that's happened in the ball game. Wow. Sandoval gets plunked. Baker.
Did he go? They'll check. Yes, he did, says Jerry Meals. Not been a friend of David Ortiz, and David's got to be careful here.
Yeah, this goes back to the beginning of the ball game, and out goes Ortiz.
An earlier call that David didn't like, the third base umpire, and didn't like this call, and was
to be something David said. Second time that he's had a little run-in with Meals down at third base. Let's take a look and see. Ooh, that's very close. Then it's the home plate umpire that comes over and throws Ortiz out of the game.
That is a fair ball, and out is Simmons. The throw to first. That's going to be a double play. Aaron Harang's going to argue. Franny Gonzalez is going to come out and plead his case with Ron Culpa. Yadier Molina might have stolen one for St. Louis, and he starts a double play.
Molina bounced out there and got the ball before it hit the ground. Got into fair territory. Doesn't look like it.
And now Freddie Gonzalez is ejected, and he's
pretty much saying, how in the world could it be fair if the ball hit back here? Third base umpire should have had a good look at that too. Hits in foul territory. Molina springs up and runs 2 steps on the dugout.
He's going to come out and get after Culpa again, who's going to meet him halfway between the dugout and the plate.
Freddie's got to be careful here after coming out a second time.
As that pitch to Hole in between innings, the chirping came from the Red Sox dugout. John Farrell and the umpire Timmons told him to stop. Just stop right now. Stop right now. And they kept going, so he threw him out of the game. Farrell came out, argued for a good.
Can I forget this birthday? He's the man that was ejected as the ball was put in play by Nick Markakis. Adam Hamari is the home plate. Brian Snitker came out and tried to protect the rest of his bench, and then he was thrown out arguing balls and strikes.